Good morning, everyone, and welcome again in another part of this ongoing chapter, which is relations and function. And as you know well, that in the yesterday's class we were discussing some very important functions and their graphs and their domain and range. So in this connection, we will continue the same discussion. Yesterday we discussed many functions, like we discussed signum function, right? We discussed exponential function. We discussed modulus function, right? And each function has particular definition, particular graph, particular uh, domain and range. That all the three things we have to keep remember, and that things those are very important things and will be useful at many places. So this is really essential for us in this connection. The next function, let us take, and that function is greatest integer function. Greatest integer function. Right. One student, Irshad, asked me to revise the things. We'll take these functions again for a quick revision. Uh, but let us move ahead and let us discuss greatest integer function. Greatest integer function is a function defined as a function from a certain domain to codomain is taken R always, and uh, domain will find and will write afterwards uh, here such that the rule of the function is that fx is equal to, we write a symbol like this and we read it as greatest integer x, where this has a meaning. This is greatest integer less than or equal to x. Okay, so before we draw its graph and we draw and find out domain and range, let us understand first this function, that what is the meaning of fx equal to greatest x, where this is greatest integer less than or equal to x. Let us see some examples and understand what is this function. uh, Suppose you want to find out greatest integer value of 1.2. So you see the number line, this is the number line. Okay, 1.2 is here, this is 1.2. To find out the greatest integer value of 1.2, let us as per the definition, it is equal to the greatest integer less than or equal to x. So greatest integer less than 1.2. So what integers are less than 1.2? Which integers are less than 1.2? Various integers, 1, 0, minus 1, minus 2. Left side all are less than 1.2 integers. Integer matlab 1, 0, minus 1, minus 2, they all are integers. So 1.2 say smaller boss are, but out of them the greatest one, which is the greatest one? 1 is greatest among them. So from left side the closest integer you have to write. So that is 1. 1. Yes, 1. Okay. So let us do some more experiments. Let us find out greatest integer of 1.9. That also will be 1. 1.9 will be here. In the left side the closest integer is 1. That is greatest integer value of 2.5 will be how much? Greatest integer value of 2.5 will lie here. Greatest integer of 2.5 will be 2. isn't it? है ना? Right? So this is the way how we find out the value of greatest integer. Okay, right, good. Now let us find out some more greatest integer value. Suppose greatest integer of minus 1.5 if I find. So this will be minus 1, this is minus 1, minus 1.5 is here. So how much will be the greatest integer value of minus 1.5? Which integer is close to minus 1.5 from the left side? That integer is how much? Minus 2. Isn't? Minus 2. I know, minus 2. Many people are saying minus 2, right? So the integer which is closest to minus 1.5 from the left side, that is minus 2. So ये थोड़ा सा फर्क है. This is the thing. This is the meaning of greatest integer. Now let us draw its graph. You all start trying in your notebook and match from here afterwards. So let us begin. Here we will draw. Draw xy plane. One, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now let us find out the image of 0. What should be 0? Greatest integer value of 0. You watch here, equal to x or equal to x, right? So greatest integer value of 0 is the greatest integer which is less than 0 or equal to 0, 0 itself. So its meaning is that if the number is integer, its value will be, greatest integer value will be x only. For example, greatest integer value of 1, right? The integer which is less than, biggest integer which is less than or equal to 1. So 1 itself. Yes, 1 itself. So like this, if the number is integer, like greatest integer of minus 1, it will be minus 1. Greatest integer of minus 2, it will be minus 2. Okay. So if I want to draw the graph, let us 0, 0, you know, 0, 0 will be one solution. So 0, 0, let me darken. Now 0.1, what should be the greatest integer value of 0.1? 0.1 यहाँ पर है और उसके लेफ्ट साइड में सबसे क्लोज इंटीजर उसका है 0, so that is 0. Not only 0.1 is 0, 0.5 is 0, 0.9 will also be 0, isn't it? So 0.1, 0, this is the point. 0.5, 0, this is the point. 0.9, 0, this is the point. So this whole line will be darkened here. But what about 1? Greatest integer of 1 is 1. Greatest integer of 1 is not 0. So 1 का image यहाँ पे 1, 1. So just before 1 all the values will be taken. So I am drawing one empty, one semicircle here. Okay. Now 1 image is here. Now 1.5, what is the image? 1.2, the image is 1. This is 1.2, image is 1. Similarly 1.9, greatest integer of 1.9. 1.9, this also will be 1. Okay. So 1.9 image will also be 1. So here also it will come horizontal line. But 2 image will not be here. 2 image is 2, 2, 2. So like this it will come. And similarly, this also will be horizontal line up to 3 and 3 image will be here like this. Right, students? So this is the way how we are drawing greatest integer function. Now in negatives also the things will be there. Let me mark minus 1, minus 2, etc. Minus 1 image will be minus 1. Isn't it? This is written. Minus 1 image will be minus 1. So minus 1, 1 you darken. Minus 0.5. What should be the image? Minus 0.5 if you take This is minus 0.5. Left side, the closest integer is minus 1. So this is minus 1. So minus 0.5 image is minus 1. Similarly, minus 0.1 image is minus 1. So again it will come, but at this point it will come empty circle or semicircle. Correct? So if you see overall trend of the graph, now you have understood minus 2, image is minus 2, and up to here it will come like this. This is the final graph of greatest integer function. Now let us find out its domain and range. You can draw in your notebooks. You understood? And ऐसा लग रहा है ना कि ये steps हो, है ना, सीढ़ियाँ चढ़ते हुए हम जो steps होते हैं एक के बाद एक higher and higher. That's why the name is of this function is one more function we call it step function. This also is a name. Okay, students. Domain and range. Find out domain and tell me, and find out range and write. What is domain? What is range? The rule is same that yesterday also we were using this method. That what is to be done? That you see the graph, and from the points of the graph drop the perpendiculars on x-axis. जो ग्राफ के जो पॉइंट्स हैं वहां से परपेंडिकुलर ड्रॉप करा दीजिए एक्स एक्सिस पे, और देखिए कि एक्स एक्सिस का कौन सा पोर्शन कवर हुआ है. जितना पोर्शन कवर होगा वही डोमेन हो गया. रेंज के लिए जो कर्व है उनके पॉइंट से वाई एक्सिस पे परपेंडिकुलर्स ड्रॉप करा दीजिए और देखिए कि वाई एक्सिस का कौन सा पोर्शन कवर हुआ है, डार्कन हुआ है, तो वो रेंज हो जाता है. तो डोमेन देखिए, if you draw the perpendiculars from the points of the curve is here, so if you drop the perpendicular, these things only will come. Now from these points, if you drop the perpendicular, this part of x-axis more will be covered. From here also, if you drop the perpendiculars, this part will also be covered. Similarly, in the negative side, if you take this part of the curve and drop the perpendicular on x-axis like this, again the negative x-axis will also be covered. Whole x-axis will be covered like this. So what is the domain? Whole x-axis. Whole x-axis means R. Right? Some people have written the answer. Domain is R. Range. To find out range, drop the perpendicular from curve, points of curve on y-axis. So from here, if you drop the perpendicular, it will fall at 0. From these points, if you drop the perpendicular on y-axis, it will fall at 1. From these points, if you drop the perpendicular, it will fall at 2, 3, 4, minus 1. Only these many are the image points. 0, 1, 2. इनके बीच के points image points नहीं है. Right? So if you want to write range, इनको हम क्या बोलते हैं? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. इनका एक नाम है और जो कि आप लोगों ने बहुत सारे लोगों ने लिखा भी है. This set is called as integers and we show by z. Right? So range is z and domain is R. So this is about greatest integer function. Good. Now this is very important, useful function, right? Now इसका आप स्टडी कर सकते हैं. इसके और भी कुछ और प्रॉपर्टीज भी आप देखा जा सकता है जिनके बारे में हम अभी बात नहीं कर रहे हैं, वक्त आने पे बात करेंगे. लाइक कंटिन्यूटी, डिफरेंशिएबिलिटी, पीरियोडिसिटी, है ना, और भी बहुत सारी चीज़ें जो कि ग्राफ से हम बड़ी आसानी से उनको बताया जा सकता है. Okay, but right now not in our syllabus. So moving ahead. Yes. जब ग्रेटेस्ट इंटीजर फंक्शन की बात आती है तो एक और फंक्शन साथ में अपने आप चला आता है और उसका नाम है क्या? फ्रैक्शनल पार्ट फंक्शन. This is fractional part function. वो पिछले क्वेश्चन में जहां पे हमने डोमेन के लिए प्लेस छोड़ा था वहां पे प्लीज लिख लीजिएगा R. Domain was found to be R. So please write where we left the space. Now this is defined as, it is defined as F, and for domain leave this space and we'll find, and then we'll write to R. Codomain is always taken R. सिर्फ रियल वैल्यूड फंक्शंस के ही बारे में हम बात कर रहे हैं. Such that fx equal to fractional part of x. Okay, fx equal to fractional part of x equal to, this is given by x minus greatest integer x. This is the definition of fractional part of x. X minus greatest integer x. Okay, now जैसे हमने पहले इसको समझा ग्रेटेस्ट इंटीजर फंक्शन को, and then after we tried drawing its graph. Similarly, for this fractional part function also, first let us understand, let us take some points and उन पर इस fractional part की हम वैल्यू निकालते हैं और देखते हैं क्या क्या वैल्यूज आती हैं. तो शुरू हो जाते हैं. पहले तो मैं नंबर लाइन ड्रॉ कर लेता हूँ क्योंकि मुझे बड़ा मददगार साबित होता है. या छोड़ो नंबर लाइन, पहले मैं कोशिश करता हूँ. एग्जाम्पल 1, suppose fractional part of 1.2 if I want to find. So as per the definition it will be 1.2 minus greatest of 1.2. ठीक है, बजाय उसके मैं ग्राफ ही ड्रॉ कर लेता हूँ. ओके, जैसे चाहे 1 2 3 minus 1 minus 2. 1.2 रहा ये, और उसका ग्रेटेस्ट इंटीजर वैल्यू होगा 1 और ये बन जाएगा 0.2. तो फ्रैक्शनल पार्ट ऑफ 1.2 इज 0.2 एडविन. हाँ तन्मय, तो पॉइंट मतलब नाम समझ आ गया. अभी तो नाम क्यों रखा गया, इसका फ्रैक्शनल पार्ट दिख रहा है ना, कि किसी भी नंबर से ये क्या करता है, फ्रैक्शनल पार्ट उठा के दे देता है. चलो और कोशिश करते हैं कहीं पे. वन मोर एग्जांपल, फ्रैक्शनल पार्ट ऑफ 1.9, it will be 1.9 minus greatest of 1.9. It will be 1.9 minus 1. It will be 0.9, है ना. फ्रैक्शनल पार्ट दे दिया, अच्छी बात. और ट्राई करते हैं ग्रेटेस्ट ऑफ 1. So fractional part of 1 will be 1 minus greatest integer of 1, which is 1 itself. So it will be 1 minus 1, which is 0, है ना. मतलब अगर नंबर इंटीजर है, नंबर अगर इंटीजर है तो उसका फ्रैक्शनल पार्ट 0 होगा. करेक्ट. ओके, और ट्राई करता हूँ नेगेटिव्स के साथ. ट्राई करता हूँ फ्रैक्शनल पार्ट ऑफ -1 minus 0.9 ले लेता हूँ. So as per this definition, x minus greatest x, it will be minus 0.9 minus greatest integer of minus 0.9, isn't it? And this will become equal to minus 0.9 minus ये greatest integer of minus 0.9 कितना होगा, ये रहा minus 0.9, और इसके लेफ्ट में greatest integer है -1, तो ये वैल्यू हो जाएगी -1. तो -1, and this if you simplify it will be 1 minus 0.9 finally, which is 0.1. 0.1, right. So the greatest integer, sorry, fractional part of minus 0.9 is 0.1. करेक्ट. तो ऐसा नहीं कि आपने जो भी उसमें फ्रैक्शनल वाला पार्ट देखा वो उठा के रख दिया. वो पॉजिटिव के लिए तो ठीक है, 1.9 का 0.9, लेकिन नेगेटिव्स के लिए वो बात सच नहीं है ना. वो 1 माइनस करके आ रहा है, 0.1 आ रहा है. ठीक है, और थोड़ा एक और कोशिश करते हैं. लेट अस फाइंड आउट फिफ्थ एग्जांपल. फ्रैक्शनल पार्ट ऑफ -2.8 निकालता हूँ. So this will be as per the definition -2.8 minus greatest of -2.8, which will be -2.8 minus, and this -2.8, the greatest integer value will be -2.8. The greatest integer value is -3. -3, it will be 3 minus 2.8, it will be 0.2, isn't it? 0.2, yes. So माइनस, अगर वो नेगेटिव है तो 0.8 उठाया और 1 माइनस कर दिया, तो 0.2 हो गई उसकी वैल्यू. तो ये है फ्रैक्शनल पार्ट फंक्शन. ठीक है, तो तीनों बातें समझ में आ गई. अगर वो 1.2 है तो उसकी फ्रैक्शनल पार्ट वैल्यू 0.2. अगर वो खुद ही इंटीजर है, तो इंटीजर है तो फ्रैक्शनल पार्ट कुछ होगा ही नहीं उसमें, है ना. पार्शियल पार्ट, फ्रैक्शनल पार्ट कुछ होगा ही नहीं. तो 1 अगर है फ्रैक्शनल पार्ट विल बी 0 ओनली. फ्रैक्शनल पार्ट ऑफ 2 विल बी 0 ओनली. लेट अस ड्रॉ इट्स ग्राफ. You all begin in your notebooks and draw, and then check my answer. Check the graph which I am going to draw. whether it is right or not. These are my x and y axes. Mark the points 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 negatives, -1, -2, -3. And if you see the values, the images that finally we are getting never go beyond 1. हमें आंसर्स कैसे मिल रहे हैं 0.2, 0, 0.1, 0.2, मैक्सिमम 1 हमें मिला, 1 भी नहीं मिला, 1 भी नहीं मिला, मैक्सिमम 0.9 शायद मिला. तो सिर्फ हमारी y एक्सिस पे बहुत पूरी y एक्सिस कवर होने नहीं जा रही है, तो सिर्फ 1 मैं मार्क कर देता हूँ, उससे ऊपर शायद मुझे इमेजेस नहीं मिलेंगी. ठीक है. Now let us plot the solutions. 0, fractional part of 0 was how much? Fractional part of 0, 0 integer है, इस integer का fractional part वो खुद होता है 0. So 0, darken it, 0, What about 0.1? Fractional part of 0.1 will be 0.1 only, isn't it? Fractional part. So 0.1 image will be 0.1 here. This is 0.5 image will be 0.5, 0.9 image will be 0.9. Like this it will go if you join. But one image will not be 1. Fractional part of 1 is 0. Right? Fractional part of 1 is 0. So 1, 0. One image is not here. One image is here. Here. This is to be darkened. Then 1.5. 1.5. The fractional part will be 0.5. The 1.5 fractional part will be 0.5 here. Right? 1.9. The fractional part will be 0.9 here. But 2 image will not be here. 2 image will be 0, 2, 0. So like this the graph will appear. And here empty circle, half circle I am drawing to show, just to denote that one image is not here. So this I am not darkening. I have drawn an empty circle, a semicircle you can say, from the left side only. So from the right side the image is here. This is the meaning to show like this. And similarly some more branches I can take. Okay, good. In the left side also, for negative x-axis also. Like this. ये ध्यान रहे कि ये जो मैं ये और ये एक सेम वर्टिकल लाइन में होना है. Good. Right. Domain and range. Tell me domain. Same method you apply. Same method you apply. Same method means take the projection of these points on the curve on x-axis. So if you take the projection, if you draw the perpendiculars from these points on x-axis, you know this branch, if you drop the perpendiculars, this wala part will be covered. This is already covered. From this branch, if you drop the perpendiculars, this more part of x-axis will be covered. Slowly whole x-axis will be covered. In the negative side also, R is the answer. Domain is real number set. Entire x-axis, right? Every point of x-axis has an image. Correct? Range. Is there anyone who can tell me what is range? Drop the perpendiculars from the points of the curve on y-axis. You know, these are the points. Drop the perpendicular on y-axis. So this part of y-axis will be covered. Whether one will be covered, you see this empty circle here. There is no point on these tips. So this point 1 on y-axis will never be covered. Before 1, everything will be covered. 0 will be covered. 0 to 1. Range. What is range? Many people have written the answer. Adhyansh, Tanmay, many people have written the answer. Range is 0 to 1, but 0 is included, 1 is excluded. Close 0, 1 open, right? Now you understood. So this is about fractional part function, right? One more function let us include, and that is log function. Let us include, and then so these two are very nice functions, fractional part and greatest integer function. And let us now discuss logarithmic function. Not in much detail, but only introduction we'll see, so that you should not face any problem, right? At many places in class 11 syllabus you can see log is appearing. So let us have a brief introduction about it. It is defined as फंक्शन f. इसके लिए डोमेन के लिए भी प्लेस छोड़ दिया, पिछले वाले में भी डोमेन में मैंने लिखना भूल गया, आप डोमेन फाइंड आउट कर लीजिएगा, लिख लीजिएगा खुद से. कोडोमेन ऑलवेज बी टेक r such that fx equal to log x base a, right? Base a, and base a we always take positive, right? Actually it is inverse of exponential function, which we discussed in previous lecture. How it is inverse, that is it is in next year class 12th syllabus. So in detail there we will discuss. Now graph. To draw the graph, you assume it let y equal to log x base a, right? And there are some log tables, but before that let us take particular value of a. So there are two cases actually, any value of a can be taken. Suppose a equal to 10 you take, base 10. So in your physics and chemistry, in practical notebooks you can see in the last pages log tables are given. So those tables are given with base 10, right? So log value can be obtained and you can plot them on the graph and you can join them, you will get the curve. Just to simplify the things, right now I am going to draw directly, right? And here also on a there are two cases actually, there are some restrictions on a, there are two cases and different graph you will see for both the cases. So a is always taken positive, but in positive also there is a category that two cases are there, it can be more than 1 and it can be between 0 and 1. So case 1, if it is more than 1, then the graph will come like this. Students, to keep the things simple, I am drawing here directly, right? You can take any particular value of base a and then you can find out the values from scientific calculator and you can check it, verify it, right? But it will take time, so I am just drawing it directly. When base is bigger than 1, the graph comes like this. And when base is less than 1 but more than 0, then the graph comes like this. Okay students, right? Now graph is ready, tell me domain and range for first case. And for second case also. So is there anyone, part number जरूर लिख दीजिएगा. When you write your answer, please write the part number, okay, so that I can check properly. So is there anyone who can tell me domain? And if you see, this line is going down and down and down and becoming close and close and close to y-axis, but never ever it will meet y-axis. You can say y-axis seem to be a tangent at infinity. Y-axis seem to be a tangent at infinity to the curve. Tangent at infinity. इसका एक स्पेशल नेम है, दिस इज कॉल्ड एज एसिम्पटोट. Okay. Yes, I am receiving the answer. Domain is R plus range is R. Vishal, domain is R. Let us drop the perpendicular from these points on x-axis. If you drop the perpendiculars from these points where the foot will come, this part of x-axis will be darkened. And from this lower branch of the curve, if you drop the perpendiculars on x-axis, It will fall here, here, here. This part of x-axis will also be covered. Whether 0 will be covered? No, this curve is not meeting y-axis. 0 will never be covered. So after 0, the entire x-axis will be covered. Negative x-axis will never be covered. So domain is 0 to infinity, but 0 is not there. 0 to infinity, 0 excluded there. For excluding 0, open interval will be used. Of course, infinity can never be included. Always a small bracket parenthesis to be used. So this is. Now find out range. Many people are, anyone telling the answer for range? Pravesh Singh Lucknow, range is real positive minus 0. Oh really? Let us check. Any more answer for range? Vishal Singh is telling ranges are. Prashant Rajput is telling ranges are. Let us check. Range निकालने का एक बड़ा तय मेथड है और उसमें कोई भी वेरिएशन नहीं है कि क्या करना है कि कर्व उठाना है, कर्व लेना है और उसके पॉइंट्स से परपेंडिकुलर्स ड्रॉप करा दीजिए y एक्सिस पे और देखिए y एक्सिस का कौन सा पोर्शन कवर होता है. तो ड्रॉप करा दिए मैंने परपेंडिकुलर्स y एक्सिस पे, तो यहां से यहां, यहां से यहां, यहां से यहां, है ना, ढेर सारे खूब सारे परपेंडिकुलर्स गिरते जा रहे हैं y एक्सिस पे. y एक्सिस पूरी की पूरी कवर हो जाएगी, है ना, ये भी तो ब्रांच है, पूरी की पूरी y एक्सिस कवर हो गई. Whole y axis will be covered from the foot of perpendiculars. Range is R, the entire real number set. Okay. Some people have written correct answer. Very nice. You will have understood. Others also can participate in the discussion. है ना, अच्छा लगता है, आप लोग रिप्लाई करेंगे, रिस्पॉन्ड करेंगे. अब आते हैं केस नंबर 2 में. यहाँ पे बताओ डोमेन. व्हाट इज डोमेन? सेकेंड पार्ट जरूर लिख देना, इसके बाद जो भी कमेंट आएगा उसमें सेकेंड पार्ट जरूर लिख देना. डोमेन, व्हाट इज डोमेन? किसी और से पूछूं? तन्मय मीना. रेंज इज, हाँ अभी एक और चीज, आर जो हम लिखते हैं हम इसको इस तरह भी लिख सकते हैं. आर जो हम लिखते हैं हम इसको इस तरह भी लिख सकते हैं, ओपन माइनस इंफिनिटी कॉमा इंफिनिटी. तो ये भी रियल नंबर सेट को लिखने का एक तरीका है ना. यस कुलदीप स्वर्णकार, यू आर राइट, यू आर राइट. Correct. Domain, second part. What is domain? What is domain for second part? Domain, if you see, drop the perpendiculars on x-axis. Again, positive x-axis will be covered. 0 will never be covered. So domain is open 0 comma infinity. And range also with the same logic. If you take any answer, Gauravi Gupta is saying domain is open 0. You are right, Gauravi. Second, domain is 0. Range R. Edwin Joseph, you are absolutely right. Range is R. There is no doubt about it. So same domain, same range for both the cases. Okay. Let me write here domain. Domain is open 0 comma infinity. ये बहुत हमें एक clear चीज मिल रही है. That log is not defined. Let me write in words. Log is not defined for negative real numbers. Also not defined for 0. Okay, and if you see in both the cases it meets the x-axis at 1. It means 1, log 1 is 0. So this is also as a note can be remembered that log 1, whatever be the base, either case 1 or case 2, it is always 0. Log 1 is always 0. Log is not defined. कोई मुझसे पूछे log 0 क्या होता है? I'll tell not defined. Log minus 1 क्या होता है? Not defined. Right. So this is right side not visible. Okay, that's not an issue. Not defined for x equal to for 0. Let me write here for 0. For 0. Okay. Okay. This I am saying. Right, students? So this is about log function and exponential function का inverse होता है log function, right? Almost all the things that we, all the graphs that we need, we have discussed. One more graph is remaining. I remember a function is remaining. Inverse function, reciprocal function. ठीक है, तो उस पर अब हम आ जाते हैं. आई होप दिस वुड बी क्लियर. नेक्स्ट टॉपिक ऑफ डिस्कशन इज रेसिप्रोकल फंक्शन. Reciprocal function. कुछ लोग बड़े खूबसूरत होते हैं, उनके नाम में ही उनके पूरे फीचर्स क्लियर हो जाते हैं. ये भी कुछ वैसे ही है. ठीक है, इट इज डिफाइंड एज a function. Domain I'll find later on and then we'll write. And to codomain is always taken R such that fx equal to, and the rule is 1 upon x. 1 upon x. Right. Now, Gorby is asking log 2 base 10 equal to 1. No, Gorby, no. You can check log table. बाकी सारी log properties भी हैं, वो हम लोग अभी बात नहीं कर रहे हैं. Let us draw the graph. देर किस बात की? This is my x-axis, this is my y-axis. Origin 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. -1, -2. मैंने मार्किंग कर दी है अपने एक्सिस पे. एकदम रेडी हूँ ग्राफ ड्रॉ करने के लिए. You also can try in your notebooks and check if it is matching or not. And to draw the graph, begin with let y equal to 1 upon x. Find out the solutions and plot them. If x is 0, y will not be defined. So 0 will not have any image. 1 upon 0 is infinity. For 0, there will be no image. 1. If x is 1, y will be 1 upon 1. 1. If x is 2, y will be 1 upon 2. If x is 3, y will be 1 upon 3. Right? You're getting your points here. कुछ और ले लेते हैं. 0 और 1 के बीच में ले लेते हैं. If x is 1 by 2, y will be 1 upon 1 by 2. 2. If x is 3, y will be 1 upon 1 by 3. Means if x is 1 by 3, y will be 3. Okay, negatives ले लेता हूँ. -1, y will be 1 upon -1, -1. ठीक है, इतना काफी है. प्लॉट कर लेते हैं. वन कॉमा वन, ये रहा मेरा 1,1. 2, half, 2, half, this is half. 3, 1 by 3, 1 by 3 means 0.3. ये रहा 0.3. 3, 0.3. 4, 1 by 4 means 0.25. 4, 0.25. Right? 4, 0.25, just quarter of it. This is, we are getting the trend here. It will come like this. It is becoming closer and closer and closer to x-axis, but never it will meet x-axis. Okay, nice. Now between 0 and 1, 1 by 2, the image is 2. 1 by 2, 2, this is to be darkened. 1 by 3, the image is 3, this is to be darkened. So I think here also we are getting the trend. This branch, this part of curve will become close and close to y-axis, right? As x is moving towards 0, it will move towards infinity. So, but it will never meet y-axis. Negatives, let us plot the negatives. -1, -1, this. -2, -0.5, this. And here also it will come like this. My graph is ready. You check, is it right or not? You can check, verify what you have drawn in your notebooks, whether it is matching or not. And if it is matching, then tell me domain and range. What is domain? मेथड वही, ग्राफ नया, बस ग्राफ चेंज हो गया, मेथड तो वही मेरा। यस हाँ, तो डोमेन क्या, ड्रॉप करा दीजिए परपेंडिकुलर्स एक्स एक्सिस पर। ड्रॉप कराएंगे तो ये सारे पॉइंट्स एक्स एक्सिस की ये कवर हो जाएंगे, ये सारे इस पॉजिटिव एक्सिस से आने वाली एक्सिस पूरी कवर हो जाएगी, बट जीरो वो कभी कवर नहीं होगा, इस ब्रांच से तो नहीं होगा, इस ब्रांच से भी जीरो कवर नहीं होगा, और ये पूरी नेगेटिव एक्स एक्सिस भी कवर हो जाएगी। This entire negative x-axis and positive x-axis will be covered, but zero will never be covered. Right? So zero will not be covered means zero is not the domain point. वैसे भी देखो तो 1/0 is not defined. Zero is not the point of domain. So it is for rest of the numbers it is defined. Right? Any real number you take, its inverse you can find out. But for zero you cannot find. So except zero, all the real numbers. So domain is R minus 0 है ना, तो within braces you should write 0. Range, what should be the range? Same logic you apply, drop the perpendiculars on y-axis. So if you drop the perpendiculars on y-axis, every point of y-axis will be covered except 0. Similarly, every point of negative y-axis will also be covered except 0. So range here is, you are right, many people have written the answer R minus 0, set of 0. So this is the domain and range of inverse function. Right, students? Right. Now I think we have discussed majority things, very important functions which were useful for our concept, for our exercise, and these functions are very useful. You please practice. Practice means just draw them. You take a rough notebook, draw them all together, and we have to keep remember their graphs. Next time we should not find solutions and plotting. इतना करने लगे तो हमें 2 मिनट्स लग गए, तो 2 मिनट्स लग गए तो फिर ग्राफ का तो जितना यूज था, ग्राफ का मजा ही तब है जब हमने उसको सेकंड्स में आंसर हम निकाल पाए, है ना। तो इसलिए you please practice, draw them and write their domain and range. Domain and range also don't try to memorize it, you learn how to find. If graph you have, learn instantaneously how to find, right? And it's always pleasant and good to meet with you, to interact with you. Irshad Hussain, sir my doubts, इनके doubts ले लेते हैं कि Irshad told that signum function discuss कर लेते हैं. Thank you, the class has been concluded, but signum function बहुत short में, signum function was defined as fx equal to -1 if x is less than 0, 0 if x equal to 0, and 1 if x is greater than 0. Right? To draw the graph of this signum function, ये see, ये function define है इस तरह से, है ना, इसमें भी डोमेन में लिख लेना r minus 0, ठीक है। डिफाइन है तो मतलब उसके पीछे कोई वो हम उस पे क्रॉस आर्गुमेंट नहीं कर सकते, इट इज अ डेफिनेशन. नाउ वी हैव टू ड्रॉ द ग्राफ. सो ऑल सी इट इज अ कांस्टेंट फंक्शन, कांस्टेंट फंक्शन ग्राफ इज स्ट्रेट लाइन. तो इफ x is positive, it is the straight line passing through 1, right? And if it is negative, it is passing through -1, right? Horizontal line, constant function का ग्राफ, है ना. वैसे इमेज निकाल के प्लॉट करके भी ज्वाइन कर सकते हैं. And zero image is 0, है ना. So its domain will be R. ना मेथड इज सेम कि ग्राफ के पॉइंट से एक्स एक्सिस पे परपेंडिकुलर्स ड्रॉप करा दीजिए. सो डोमेन इज आर एंड रेंज ग्राफ के पॉइंट से वाई एक्सिस पे परपेंडिकुलर्स ड्रॉप करा दीजिए. सो वन परपेंडिकुलर विल फॉल हियर एट 1, वन इज हियर 0, एंड वन एट हियर -1. सो ओनली 3 फुट ऑफ परपेंडिकुलर विल बी देयर एंड दिस विल बी द रेंज, है ना इरशाद. तो ये जो है वो क्या क्या हो जाएगा हमारा सिग्नम फंक्शन, ठीक है. इसी तरह का एक और फंक्शन यू आर आस्किंग, आई थिंक मॉडुलस फंक्शन. मॉडुलस फंक्शन इज आल्सो वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट एंड वेरी यूजफुल, इजी आल्सो. मॉडुलस फंक्शन वी डिफाइंड like fx equal to mod x, and its definition was x if x is greater or equal to 0 and minus x if x is less than 0. right? And here also, if you draw the graph, we discussed in previous lecture, and if you plot all the points, the graph would come like this, V-shaped graph, है ना? Yeah, the graph will come like this, and डोमेन, इसके पॉइंट से अगर मैं एक्स एक्सिस पे परपेंडिकुलर्स ड्रॉप कर रहा हूँ तो पॉजिटिव एक्स एक्सिस भी कवर हो जाएगी, और इधर के पॉइंट से अगर मैं परपेंडिकुलर्स ड्रॉप कर रहा हूँ तो नेगेटिव एक्स एक्सिस भी कवर हो जाएगी। तो इसके केस में डोमेन है R और रेंज है क्या, है ना, पॉजिटिव वाई एक्सिस पे परपेंडिकुलर्स आएंगे। इस पॉइंट से अगर मैं वाई एक्सिस पे परपेंडिकुलर्स ड्रॉप कर रहा हूँ तो ये ओनली पॉजिटिव पार्ट ऑफ वाई एक्सिस विल बी कवर्ड, तो रेंज विल बी 0, इन्फिनिटी, 0 भी कवर हो जाएगा, इसलिए इंक्लूडिंग 0 स्क्वायर ब्रैकेट इज टू बी यूज्ड, इन्फिनिटी हमेशा स्मॉल ब्रैकेट इज टू बी यूज्ड, है ना? ठीक है, देख लेना। यस, तो एंड आई वुड रिक्वेस्ट दैट प्रीवियस लेक्चर जो है विल ऐड ऑल दीज लेक्चर्स इन द प्लेलिस्ट links are available on channel, right? Just click on the respective tab, search कर लीजिएगा, even in the WhatsApp group also we have written in description those playlist links, find them there. Thank you for watching.